How's it going?
This is the Young Republicans.
It's always good when you say, hey, who are you following? Rush Limbaugh? Oh. Great. Well, hey guys, my name's Daniel Silver. I am the new chairman for Idaho Young Republicans. Been in that role for about 4 months now. On behalf of our team up there and all of our board and our members, just want to say thank you. It's an honor to serve Idaho, to serve you guys. If you don't know about Idaho Young Republicans, if you don't know about Idaho Young Republicans, we actually are a group, and our mission field is on the 18 to 40 range. We're part of the state party. We represent the entire state, but we're trying to get that current and next generation of leaders to step up to the game. And if I could be if I could be real honest with you guys, 6 months ago, right before the election, our organization was down to about 7 members across the entire state. And I don't know about you, but that kind of broke my heart. And that's why I wanted to run. I'm happy to tell you that 4 months into it, we just are about to cross 300 new members. We just crossed 3,000 new followers on social media, and we're selling out events across the state. There is a thirst and a hunger there. You know, I like to joke and say, you know, there's a lot of differences between Democrats and Republicans. The main difference one is that Republicans have a lot of wisdom, a lot of life experience, but not a lot of youth. Democrats have a lot of youth, but obviously no wisdom. And so we as a party, you guys, right now in the current state, to be real honest, we're not going to win on the numbers of 18 to 40. What we're going to win, though, is on the rest of you investing in 18 to 40. And so I want to tell you how you can do that. There's 3 ways. Number 1, we have a booth up there. We'd love to meet you. Come up. If you're 18 to 40, you can become a member. If not, you can be a supporter. Supporter is just as important. Number 2, you can go onto our website. Everyone has a phone. You can do it right now, idahoyr.com. You can sign up tonight. You get to hear about all of our events. We just had one at the Capitol building talking about all the bills sold out. And then the third thing, and I think there's some slides that have been shown throughout the night, we actually have an auction that launched today. It goes through a week from tomorrow, so to the next Saturday, and it's called Experience Idaho. And this is not your normal auction items. We're talking like private hunting trips, private scenic flights over the Tetons, whitewater rafting trips, dinner with all the legislators you've talked about here, and my own tickets to Hamilton, if you want to go see Hamilton. But one in particular, 2 flights and a 2-night hotel stay in Washington, D.C., and a private U.S. Capitol tour with Mr. Fulcher. Guys, to be real honest, we need your help. This auction is what we're going to do to be able to continue the growth that we're having. We're hoping to raise $30,000 this week with that auction. That's important. As the chairman of the organization, guys, I'm so proud of our group, but we can't do it alone. We need your help. So I'm asking you guys to please go online, share the auction, share the events that we have. Let's continue the growth we're having, and let's keep Idaho red, not just now, not just 10 years from now, but forever and ever. Forever! Thank
you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Idaho Republican Party Chair, Tom Luna.
Thank you. Great job, Daniel. He is a force. The people he has put together on his team all across the state is a force. Please go to the website and look at these amazing Experience Idaho opportunities that are there. And donate and contribute. It's a partnership that we have with the Idaho Young Republicans. They are the future, and we need to engage them and tap into the talent, the skills, and the passion that they have, and make them an integral part of the party going forward. So again, thank you, Daniel, for your leadership and your great work. Thank you. All right. We have such a privilege, these next 2 speakers. You didn't come to hear me, right? You came here because we have some folks here that have come to Idaho, and they're going to share incredible messages with you. We have here today with us the chairman of the Republican National Committee, Ronna McDaniel. And yeah, let's hear for Ronna and the great work she's doing. When I became party chair, I reached out to Ronna. I said, Ronna, we're a red state, but we cannot become a Colorado. We cannot become the next Nevada. We cannot become the next New Mexico, right? And we cannot take Idaho for granted going forward. And she immediately engaged. She agreed to come here and not only that, with her staff and their resources to help us move this party forward. So let me tell you a little bit about Ronna and her background. She was elected unanimously recently for another term as our chair. And during the 2016 election, she was the point of the spear in Michigan that delivered Michigan to the Republican Party for the first time in decades and carried that state for President Donald Trump. She'll tell you that she was a stay-at-home mom making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I'm not going to take that away from her. But this lady is an amazing force, and she's done amazing work. But what really intrigued me with her is if you look at her background, the fact that she's the chair of the National Republican Party, but consider this, she's been a precinct committee person. She's been involved at the party at the county level and at the state level. She comes to this with experience, and she comes with this as an example of somebody who is willing to get in at the ground floor, boots on the ground, and make a difference. Let's give a great welcome, a great Idaho welcome to RNC Chair Ronna McDaniels.
From the communist state of Michigan. Gretchen Whitmer is our governor. I landed here, I took my mask off, and I said, oh my gosh, this is what freedom feels like. I called my husband, and this is not a joke, I said, we should move to Idaho. So we may be your neighbors soon, you don't even know that. I'm so excited to be here. I want to thank Tom Luna, your state party chair, who's doing a phenomenal job and really working hard to keep your state red. There's a couple other folks. Your national committee woman, Cindy Sidaway, who's been on the RNC and does such a great job representing your state. Cindy, stand up. Cindy does a great job, and I love working with her. And Damon Watkins, Damon, are you here? Your national committee man who also does a great job representing Idaho. Damon, are you here? He's off working, he's campaigning. Sorry, he had other work to do. I also want to thank your governor, your vice chair, obviously Congressman Fulcher, and I am really excited to hear from Congressman Owens. I thought I would also I loved the Rush tribute. Wasn't the Rush tribute great? You know, I was there at the state, the union when he was given that Medal of Honor. And it was such an emotional moment. And one of the things that struck me as he was, dealing with terminal cancer is that even then the Democrats would not stand up and applaud for somebody suffering. And that is really indicative of what our country's dealing with the Democrat Party. I also was with him, with the president, in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, when Lee Greenwood in person sang that song. So it was really a special moment. I just think Rush is somebody who's missed, so I really appreciate you doing that great tribute. I also am a young Republican. I'm 25. No, just kidding. I was going to join that group. Please help the young Republicans. I thought I'd just quickly introduce myself. As somebody who's not from Idaho, I am from Michigan. It is brutal there. My kids have been in virtual school for over a year. Our governor has decimated our state. I have a 16-year-old son who's pretty much had it. He wakes up every day and says, Mom, can you just call me in sick to school? Because it's really horrifying what these kids are being put through. And that's the state I'm from. But I grew up in a political family. When I was a little girl, my mom would take me to campaign headquarters. She'd shove us in the back of her station wagon and we would go work on candidates' races for governor, school board. Other kids were playing soccer. I was handing out flyers. That's the home I grew up in, getting involved in those races. I didn't know that wasn't normal. I remember very early on her taking me to a campaign headquarters, and they had donuts, and I thought, this is a great job. Maybe this is what I want to do with my life. There's always donuts at campaign headquarters. But my grandfather was governor of Michigan, and he lived next door to me. And every day, every Sunday, we would have dinner. And I thought this was normal, that families had political discussions all the time. But that is the family I grew up with. And he loved this country. He actually was born in Mexico, but was driven out, and he came to Idaho. And I was talking to my dad about this before I came here. He lived here for 6 years. He was in 6 different schools while he lived here. Think about that, changed school. He was so poor, one year his family only had potatoes for the whole year. That's all they could afford. But they loved their time in Idaho, and this state holds a special place in my heart. Of course, then he went on to move to Utah, and then without a college degree, ended up running American Motors, one of the largest car companies in the country, and then went on to run for governor, and then went on and be governor, and then went on to be Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and then went on to run for president. He didn't win that one. But that's the beauty of America. And so when he would have us over on Sundays as kids, he would say, never take this country for granted. We're so blessed to be here. Amen. And we are so blessed to be here. And when each of the grandchildren turned 12, he would load us in a van and whatever cousins we had around that age, and he would take us west, and he would show us Grand Canyon or Bryce or Yellowstone or Yosemite, and he'd take us across the country, and he wanted to instill in each of us a profound love and appreciation for this country that we can never, ever take for granted. And I did that trip with him, and of course that resonates with me even more now. So I grew up in this political family. My mom ran for Senate, she lost. My dad ran for Attorney General, he lost. My uncle ran for president, he lost. And I thought, you know what, I've got to figure out how to win, so I'm gonna go run the state party of Michigan. And that's exactly what I did. I started as a precinct delegate. I worked on my district committee. I served on my state committee. I served on the policy committee, was the national committee woman, all volunteer positions. And then one day my governor said, why don't you come run the state party? Little did I know, they asked me to run in a year when everybody expected us to lose. Nobody thought we could win. But it would be good to have a woman as the state party chair. So I said, you know what, I'll go ahead and run. But I believed we could win. I believed we could win because we were a state that was changing, and Republicans had refused to campaign in Michigan for year after year after year after year. And as candidates came through running for president in 2016, I went and met with every single one of them, and I said, Michigan is a winnable state. And I believed, and I worked hard, and I raised money, and I didn't have the national party's support, and every candidate came through, you could see if they were looking at you, but there was one candidate who believed in the local voice, who didn't believe the Washington pundits and the prognosticators and all those geniuses in DC, and his name was Donald Trump. And I remember the first time I met him, I said, you can win Michigan if you come here. And he said, I believe you. And nobody else did. They thought we were crazy. I had so many doors slammed in my face. I was laughed at. Everybody thought Michigan wasn't winnable. But it was people like you. People like you who love this country, who are going to give your time, who are going to volunteer, who are going to knock doors, who are going to talk to their neighbors. It was a grassroots movement that spread across our state, and we said we are sick and tired of Washington and not having a voice for average, hardworking Americans in the state of Michigan, and that is why we won Michigan with Donald Trump for the first time in 30 years when I was Michigan Party Chair. Now, prior to that, I was just a PTA mom. Not just, a very important PTA mom, because I love moms. Give it up for the PTA moms, all the moms who work so hard. Because you know what? They kick butt. And we worked so hard. I was planning every classroom party, making PB&J, and I was doing all the things that I could as a stay-home mom. And only Donald Trump would say, let's go take that lady from Michigan and make her the head of the national party. And I'm only the second woman in history to run the Republican National Committee. And in that time, we've raised over $1 billion, which is more than any party has raised in the history of America. And it's been done by a stay-home mom because we know how to get things done. So here we are, and we are sad right now. We are all sad because we want to see Donald Trump in office still. And we know that Joe Biden is dismantling day after day after day policies that made our country stronger. I'm just going to go through a few. Keystone Pipeline. Let's talk about that. The Abraham Accords, moving the embassy to Jerusalem. Recognizing that Korea was a threat, North Korea, and actually going and diffusing that threat so they were not throwing missiles at the United States of America anymore. The list goes on and on. Record low unemployment for African American, Hispanic, and women. Creating jobs, Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, getting rid of cumbersome regulation. Getting rid of creating the Mexico policy so we are not funding abortions for countries other than the United States with taxpayer dollars. These are the types of things that Donald Trump stood for. And these are things that made our country better. And let's not forget, those vaccines that everybody's getting, that happened because of Donald Trump and Republican leadership. And so today, we saw a jobs report come out for Joe Biden. Did any of you see what the expectations were? They were supposed to be 1 million new jobs created. There were only 266,000 jobs created. Democrats are failures. They are failing our country. They want to dismantle the Constitution. They want to stack the Supreme Court, get rid of the filibuster, tax you into oblivion, and they want to take away all the freedoms that we hold dear as Americans. And this next election, every single one of us has to stand up and work hard to make sure that we keep America, America, and not turning it into a socialist nation like the Democrats want to see. Every single day, I wake up and I think about we are 5 seats away from taking it back to the House and retiring Nancy Pelosi. We are 1 seat from taking back the Senate and getting rid of Chuck Schumer. If we work as hard as we can, and if you have the same mindset that I had in Michigan, we will get it done. We will save America. We are on the front lines of the future of this country. It is up to every single one of us to give everything we have, and then we will go win in 2022. Are you with me? And I'll just end. And I said this to my National Committee members the other day. I want nothing more than to be the Republican National Committee chair who retired Nancy Pelosi. I want it so bad. I told them, you know what, if it happens, I'll go get a tattoo. I retired Nancy Pelosi. I'll let the whole country vote. Where does it go? Okay? I don't believe in tattoos, but I'll get one for this. Because this is a mark I want for the rest of my life. Because in all seriousness, and I'm going to say this personally, it goes back to those dinners with my grandpa. I love this country. I love it with all my heart. We are so blessed to live in the United States of America. And there is no other country that is like us. If we fail, if we don't win If we let the Democrats take control in this next election, there's no place else to go. This is it, folks. This is it. And this is our time. So as discouraged as everyone is, snap out of it. Snap out of it. The time to go win is now. Every day I will be working hard. I promise you, I'm going to give everything I can because I think about my kids right now under Governor Communist Gretchen Whitmer. And I know what she has done to destroy their future by keeping them out of school for a year. I know what they have done to destroy businesses. I know what they have done to keep us out of church. I know what they have done to try and take away our rights to bear arms. And I know what they will do if they control the reins of power. They will destroy everything that we hold dear. So God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And let's go win in 2022. Thank you all so much.